Let's talk about New Year's goals for 2022. Hi, I'm Rachel from 7 and All, and in this video I'm going to be sharing a little bit about why I make New Year's goals, what my goals are for this year, and I'm going to be asking for you for a little bit of help with some of my goals. So let's get started. First of all, I want to tell you, you can actually go back a year, and I will link to my video probably in the cards right here for my New Year's goal for last year to hear what those were, and mostly to hear about my reasoning for why I make New Year's resolutions and New Year's goals in the first place. Because I know many people don't actually like New Year's resolutions, but I do. So I go more into the reasoning of why I do it in that video. But here I'll just give you the really short version, which is that there are two reasons why I make New Year's goals. Number one, I see recorded New Year's goals as a snapshot of myself from year to year. A snapshot of what was important to me at the time, what I struggled with, what life was like at that time, and what I wanted to do, what my values were. And I can see how that changes through different seasons. When I look back over different years worth of goals, I can see what I have achieved as far as those goals, and I can also see where I kind of shifted away from something that was important to me for a season, but for right now, it doesn't fit my goals and my values so much anymore. So I do record my New Year's goals in two ways. I record my goals in my daily planner that I use throughout the year. This is my 2021 planner. I'm about to get I'm filming this right before Christmas, and I'm going to get my 2022 planner for Christmas, so I don't have it yet. And then I also record them in my bullet journal, which the way I keep bullet journals is a little bit different. Mine is more of a very long-term thing. I only record super special things in here, so it takes me years to fill up a journal. It's been probably 5 years, and it's almost halfway full, so I'm not using my bullet journal on a daily basis, but I like how it can kind of show life through the years with just some of the very special things that I wanted to record over that time. And also, our family, you may have noticed that the 7 and All family tends to do things collectively quite a bit, and we invite each other to be a part of our lives. So every year I do invite all my siblings, my parents, my husband to share their New Year's goals with me. And I will record all of our goals in my bullet journal, and I share them with the whole family, and we can be accountability partners to each other when we know that, one person is trying to improve at learning a different language, and they want to learn this many new vocabulary words, or they want to be able to read a book in that language. So we support each other as a family. Families make really good accountability partners. People are always kind of looking outside the family for these types of partners and accountability, but I have truly found, and I'm very grateful for, accountability within our family. So that's just kind of my intro. How I do it is I record my goals, and I do keep goals in just different categories. I think about, what are my goals as a mom? What are my goals as a writer? My goals in just different kind of areas of life, and have a few different categories. I'm not going to be sharing with you every single goal, but I'll share the ones that are most appropriate to this homeschool YouTube channel. Now, before I get any farther, I do want to say that this is part of a New Year's goals collab with Wendy from Plan, Prep, Pray. She is awesome. If you have not heard of her channel, you should definitely head right there and follow her, listen to her video on goals. She has such a heart for learning, and for not just staying stagnant with wherever you are in life, but for constantly being willing to be teachable and being willing to learn. So I highly recommend you go, after you watch this video, follow her channel, and you can look at the playlist for more of how many different homeschool moms are approaching New Year's goals for 2022. Now for me, this year, when I was contemplating goals, I think for many of us, it's kind of challenging at first. You're like, well, what do I want to change? What don't I want to change? And I usually try to pick one overarching area of life that I want to focus in that's kind of more of a struggle for me right now. And I decided that I wanted to focus on, contemplate, read about, pray about, and choose peace. choosing to be a peacemaker in my own life and choosing peace. And for me, I think this is very important because I don't know if you've noticed, but I have definitely noticed, and I've felt the weight of basically the whole entire world right now, and for the past couple years, and probably before that, but I've really noticed it the past couple years, it is really telling us, don't choose peace. It's telling us choose to be fearful, choose to be worried, choose to be stressed. Don't choose peace. Whatever you do, don't just choose to be at peace. But I am really feeling a need to be active in choosing peace for me, choosing to be a peacemaker in my own family and in my own community. So that is something I do want to be studying the Bible on. I do want to be just contemplating and thinking right now in my own mind, am I choosing worry and fear in response to some news, or am I choosing peace? Because seriously, I have seen the message of worry and be afraid and have your dukes up from the world as well as from within Christianity. I think there's a very, very widespread message that is very anti-peace right now, that we need to be worried on every single side of every single issue. If you're on all the way on one side of an issue, you should be afraid. If you're all the way on the other side of an issue, you should be afraid. But I'm finding the need to seek peace for me as a mom, as a wife, as a sister. In all of my relationships, I want to be the one who's choosing peace. And that can look so different in so many different things. When I take my kids to the playground and there's trash everywhere, this is a problem at our local playground. I can choose not peace. I can choose to feel angry, and I can choose to feel frustrated that our playground looks like this. I can choose not peace and write snarky comments about it on the internet. Or I could choose to bring some trash bags and have my kids pick up trash with me. And I can choose to, something I've been wanting to do is get together with friends and do more trash pickups. And in that simple and small way, bringing more peace to our playground, making it a peaceful, making it a safe space without just getting angry and feeding into the whole culture of complaining and being fearful and being afraid that this trash could be a danger to my kids. It could, but what if I clean it up? And choose to be a peacemaker in that very practical sense within my community and within my own life. There are many problems in this world that I can't do anything about, but there are problems that I can do something about. So when I see that trash on the playground, I'm going to do something about that problem that is within my domain. And I encourage you guys to contemplate as well. How could you bring peace within your domains? Rather than feeling the weight of anxiety and worry of the big problems that realistically we cannot solve. Because with social media, we can hear about problems that are very far away from us and on the other side of the world and not within our expertise and not within our domains. And there's genuinely nothing we can do to solve that problem. And they are endless. So do we just focus on feeling the anxiety and weight of that? Or do we focus on, well, I'm going to do the next right thing that's right in front of me to bring more peace to my domain? That's something I'm choosing to work on in 2022. Now, on to more goals. And I do want to make a side comment here that I have noticed the past couple years, I think have been very eye-opening to most of us, that we are not as much in control of our own lives as we can sometimes be under the illusion that we are. Because for me, when I was contemplating what would I really, really like to accomplish this year, one of the first things that came to my mind was that I want to see my sister and her new baby. Of all the, just what do I want? That's one of the things I really wanted to be able to do that. But at this season, normally you can have travel goals. Normally you can say, okay, I have a travel goal. I'm going to save up money. I'm going to make it a priority. I'm going to devote some vacation time to this, and then you can make it happen. Right now, it doesn't matter if I save up the money. It doesn't matter if my sister saves up the money. It doesn't matter if we have the vacation time. It doesn't matter if we make it a priority. When you're living internationally and borders don't open and visas aren't approved and quarantines can be 2 to 4 to 6 weeks long, Um, there are some goals that you have no control over achieving, but travel, taking my boys on adventures, giving my children the opportunity to develop close relationships with their family, and having me being able to feed the relationships with my family who are far away, all of that is a priority. If travel opportunities present themselves, I do want to be ready and willing to take them, but I also want to be not choosing to have peace with the fact that right now none of us are in control with whether we can, go and visit our family in another country. And I deeply hope that that will begin to change in 2022, but we also do not know. So there is that comment that, yeah, we can't make goals about what we genuinely can't control, but we can keep the things that we do deeply want in our mind, like seeing our family. Okay, and now I'll go through a couple of my different categories of realistic, practical goals for me, and I'm going to ask you for help with a couple of them. First category is home. I am now in a new home, and that's changed our life quite a bit. I was not able to be very hospitable when we lived in an apartment and when there were lockdowns and we couldn't have people come to our house. But now I can have people over. So I want to make it a goal, and I'm going to make space in my planner to record it. I want to have guests over at least once in every month of 2022. So I want to have people besides just like my mom and dad and sisters who we see all the time, a couple times a week probably. But I want to have people come over to my house once every month. I think that's realistic and practical, and that will give me something, who's going to be our guests for February. And yeah. Second home-related goal is I'm getting an oven, or I already got an oven for Christmas, and I haven't had an oven in like 7 years, so I'm a little bit rusty at thinking, what should I make with my oven? Last time I had an oven was in America, and you can kind of get different ingredients there. So I've been baking a lot for Christmas, but I want to include more baked dinners. So if you have any really good baked dinner recipe, ideally with very just easy ingredients that are not super special and hard to find, leave that recipe or a link to that recipe in the comments below. Help me out with some, bonus points if it's very toddler friendly. But leave me some recipes, because I want to be learning how to use my oven and getting a lot of variety and a lot of use out of my brand new oven in 2022. For homeschool goal, I want to regularly make time for fun, and again, this is something that in my planner I'm going to leave room to write down and record some of those just like extra special fun things that we do. To some people, play schooling comes very naturally. For me, I am very much wholeheartedly a book homeschooler. I find the stuff that other people think is boring fun. So I don't necessarily I don't feel so much push to do like, let's make homemade Play-Doh or something like that, which I'm not going to change my personality of learning. I highly value sitting down and doing the work, but there is magic in doing that kind of extra stuff once in a while. I made pavlova with my sisters more than a year ago, and they still talk about that. And one time we made peppermint ice cream from scratch, and they still talk about that as well. So, taking the time to just do some kind of crazy recipe or do an experiment, I do want to make it a goal to regularly do that, record those kind of extra fun things. And I probably am not going to really plan it ahead of time, but more in a responsive way of listening to the kids. I find that to be much more successful when I see the kids be like, hey, I want to build a snowman. Find a way to allow them to build a snowman here in the tropics. Because I feel like a lot of times when I plan the fun, not really taking what they're interested in into account, then it's more of something that I find fun. But listen, just keeping my ears open to comments that they make about what would be fun for them, and then doing that fun thing. For career, if many of you guys have been following me for quite a while, you know that I am a writer at heart and in reality. This past year, I had one writing contract I did for an outside company in 2021. But then after that, I put all my writing energy and focus into writing products for my family's new, very small homeschool resource business, Where'd You Learn That? And Purely Preschool has been our most best-selling series so far of the different products that we've released. And I love Purely Preschool. We've had a lot of fun using the Puramente Preescolar Spanish edition, but Cyrus is growing out of it. That's apparently what preschoolers do. So I'm wanting, my career goal is to be able to release the follow-up to Purely Preschool, the what would naturally come next. So that is under construction. My goal is to release it by sometime this spring. The what's coming next after Purely Preschool, it'll be more at like a pre-K level, not like at totally serious kindergarten level in modern kindergarten where you're supposed to be reading, but a step up from the very, very gentle play and real life based learning of Purely Preschool and getting more into seriously learning the alphabet and learning phonics very consistently and systematically, but also with lots of life skills and literature and songs, music, and the holistic learning that I love wrapped in. So that is underway, that is under construction. It is not close yet to being released, but I'm working very hard on that. And that's kind of my big next release goal that I'm really working to get out and done, because Cyrus is going to need it very soon. And I'm also super excited to share it with you guys. It will be available in both English and in Spanish versions. YouTube goals, and here's something that you guys can really help me with. I am hoping to hit and hopefully even pass 5K subscribers this year, and this is really something you all can help with. If you are subscribed already, great, thank you. Remember that you can turn on the notifications bell so that you actually get notified when I release a video, because YouTube is crazy and a lot of times it's hard to even find the videos of the people that you are subscribed to. So hitting the notifications bell makes it easier for you to find my videos, makes it better for me because you're actually watching my videos. And taking the time to like and comment on videos is so encouraging. But also, you can, if you like the kind of videos we make, if you like the unique perspective that I bring to homeschooling bilingually and having a couple different generations at once, you know, the blended homeschool we have going on, then I encourage you to share 7 and All's videos with your homeschooling friends. If I make a video and you're like, wow, more people should hear this, and you comment that, it really helps if you share that video with more people, because I can only reach so many people on my own. But you guys who are appreciating this channel, I genuinely thank you for how much you have followed and supported me already, and I am just playing here asking you, you can help me reach this 5,000 subscribers goal by sharing and by just helping these videos to be seen by more people so that we can build this little homeschool community right here on YouTube. And finally, in the category of motherhood, I want to, this is more of a continue goal because there's some things that I do just always, you know, I always want to have them in my planner, that these are at the forefront of my mind. One, I do want to make time for daily play with my children, because time is flying and it's so easy for me. It's not like, I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I'm gonna lay on the couch and eat chocolate. That's just not my personality. I am more of, it's easy for me to get caught up in, oh, I'm gonna mop the floors, I'm gonna clean the bathrooms, I'm going to make dinner and all that kind of thing. That comes very naturally to me. And suddenly the day is gone. I always want to make time for daily play. And the second part of it is I want to continue keeping my purpose in mind, being purposeful training of their young hearts and minds and bodies. This year, my older son will turn 4, and toward the end of the year, my younger son will turn 3. So we have a solid full year of just preschool fun ahead of us again, and I'm going to relish it and delight in it, delight in all the learning opportunities it will bring for them as well as for me. And I have, motherhood has been such a gift. These little guys have been such a gift already. And are there challenges? 100%. Is that good for me? 100%. So I just want to continue in being very aware of being intentional in my job, in purposefully training hearts, minds, and bodies, and also just playing with them. All right, that's my goals for 2022. Now it's your turn. Let's have some conversations in the comments. All right, I'll be seeing you. Bye.